Good morning. Welcome back to our Keto Kitchen. Today we're going to make Tex-Mex Keto Tamales. I've set up the ingredients. Let me show you. I love tamales. I grew up in Texas, and any big family gathering, Mom would go to the local restaurant, this little hole in the wall, and buy a bunch of tamales. I'm used to more of a Tex-Mex style. But the challenge being keto is, can't eat corn. But I have these Maria and Ricardo almond flour tortillas. The purple and the orange package, they're the same. It's just been redesigned. These are delicious. They're almond flour tortillas, and they're the closest thing that we have found to corn tortillas. Now, I've been eating keto for 7 years, and my taste buds have changed. And these tortillas gave me an idea. Blend them up in the food processor, add some oil and water, and make my own keto tamales. We're going to tear up the tortillas and put them in the food processor with some warm water, 3/4 of a cup, and 1/4 a cup of coconut oil. Let's go ahead and warm up the water. Now remember, these are exactly the same. Now fill your dough. See if it's wet enough. It feels good to me. You can always add more water. Now this is going to make 12 tamales. You're going to have 1 tortilla per tamale. There's going to be 6 beef using Dale's taco meat and 6 with ground pork for me. Now, if you've seen our 2 videos ago, not the most recent one was cheese dip, but the one before that was our taco meat recipe. Now, my ground pork is only going to be salt, pepper, and hot pepper. I like to keep it simple and less carbs. You can always find the recipes in our videos in the description. I'm going to divide the dough into 12. I'm going to divide in half and the halves into half and divide it until there's 12. 6 and 6. Now, if you want to be real precise, then weigh it. A good scale is a really good investment in a keto lifestyle. I don't want to weigh it. It doesn't have to be exact for me. It's just for Dale and I. Now I'm going to use parchment paper instead of corn husks. I have no idea if the corn husks would add any carbs to the tamales, but I don't have any anyway. So I'm just going to use parchment paper. I'm going to pat it out into a small rectangle. These aren't big tamales. These are small. Now, this is a new recipe for me, and over time, I'll develop a better technique. Now it feels kind of awkward. If you're new to cooking keto, it's going to feel awkward to you too, but over time, you're going to learn what works. I have tried to make these specific tortillas before. I've studied the ingredients, and I just can't recreate them. But this is a tortilla company. They make traditional tortillas and a whole different variety. And this keto tortilla is one of their newer inventions. And it really is keto. Dale and I have both tested our blood sugar, and it doesn't spike it. I've tested my blood ketones, and it doesn't stop me from burning fat, as long as I'm following my carb limit. This is a real keto tortilla. The ones that have wheat in them, we can't eat them. They spike our blood sugar. So don't be fooled. Test your blood sugar or test your blood ketones. Now I plan to steam them. But remember, this dough isn't raw. It's already been cooked. These tortillas are cooked. And this meat isn't raw either. So I don't need to steam it for a long, long time. Probably try 15 or 10 minutes. I'm going to put 1 level tablespoon of meat. Now, this is equal to half a cup of Dale's taco meat, but I blended it fine in a little food processor because I want it to be really smooth and stick to the tamale. So both of the meats started as half a cup, but they're going to equal about 6 tablespoons each. I tied up Dale's tamales because I want to be able to tell ours apart. Sorry, I was looking at the water. It's ready. I'm not going to tie up my tamales, but then I can also compare. Does tying them up help or not? I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of the pork too. You can use more meat than that, but Dale's not crazy about a lot of meat. You can also make the masa layer thinner. I'm sure over time I'm going to change how I do it. But I'm so excited to eat tamales. I haven't had tamales in 7 years. Well, actually, I did test these last month, but I only made 2 and I didn't steam them. I'm so excited. For my keto taste buds, that tastes like a tamale. I am so excited. Wow, those are delicious. Now, Dell's with taco meat is 4.3 net carbs for one tamale. Mine with ground pork with just salt, pepper, and hot pepper is 4.1 for one tamale. Oh, sorry, I kicked you guys. Now, if you're new to keto, let me explain. If the goal is weight loss, does that mean you can eat as much as you want of keto foods? No, you still have to count your net carbs. Know your net carb limit. Normally, you start with 20 net carbs a day, divided throughout the day. Also, you're going to hear that you can eat unlimited calories, but that has not been Dale in my experience. Dale can stay within his carb limit and still gain weight because he's a diabetic, type 2. His body's more sensitive. Now, he eats more carbs than I do. But you still are going to have to count your calories and have portion control. We use an app called Carb Manager. We're not affiliated with it. They don't sponsor us. We don't get any profit off of them. We found it years ago, and it's the best app that I've found for keto. If there are newer apps, I'm not aware of them yet. We feel like the paid membership is worth it. I don't even remember what all the added benefits are, but we like the paid membership, even though the app is free. Now, in January, we're going to focus on starting a keto diet and weight loss, but let me give you some tips right now. Be careful who you follow. Honestly, I don't follow any keto YouTube or Instagram or Facebook pages because I don't do well seeing the daily pictures of desserts and keto breads. I just don't need all those reminders because I do best eating meat and vegetables, coffee, that kind of thing. I'm a simple keto girl. I'm not part of any keto groups. I found in the groups, understandably, many people are posting about the frustrations. They're sharing about how they cheated last night or how they cheated on the weekend, and that's not helpful to me. It might be helpful to you, but not me. Now, my point is, there are a lot of people doing keto on YouTube. If you're an average person, not struggling with blood sugar, not struggling with insulin resistance, not struggling with obesity, you can follow any keto person and you're going to be okay. But if you're struggling with weight loss and obesity, you need to understand an average person's body is designed to respond to sugar different than someone like my body. An average body is designed that no matter how much you eat, 2 or 3 hours later, your blood sugar is going to be back to normal. It's going to be below 80. So if you're following somebody who's doing keto for health reasons, for fitness, for energy, or simply because it's a fad, if they show eating just all these different keto foods and they test their sugar and it's normal, their body might be different than yours. Not criticizing those reasons for doing keto. I'm just saying, be careful. Now, I'm not a diabetic, but my body requires more insulin to process sugar and carbs, meaning I could become a diabetic later. Now, let me just tell you this. Diabetes is not caused by overeating. It's genetic. Overeating is caused because your cells aren't getting enough energy. You're eating like with me when I weighed 150 pounds, more than I do now. If you're like that and you struggle with obesity, you understand that we eat because we're always hungry. just like thin people eat because they're hungry. Because people that struggle with obesity, their cells don't get the right energy from carbs. We're eating the wrong kinds of things. Now, emotional eating and addiction, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. People that struggle with weight are always hungry. And if you've not struggled with obesity, you may not get what I'm saying. It's like the hunger and full mechanism is broken, and keto helps me with that. I'm not eating the carbs and the sugars that the cells in my body can't get energy from. My body does better getting energy from fat. Okay, let's get back to this topic of these tamales. Now, these are the tortillas I used again, Maria and Ricardo's almond flour keto tortillas. These are the same. They've looked like this ever since I started buying them, and apparently they're redesigning their packaging. I buy them from my local co-op. They special order them for me because none of the stores in my area carry them. Their distributor has them, so they're able to order them for me. I buy them by the case. So ask your local store if they can order these for you. Maria and Ricardo's almond flour keto tortillas. This company has regular tortillas, and a lot of stores carry their regular tortillas. You can also buy them on Amazon, but the last I checked, boy, it's like price gouging. I think it's coming straight from the company, but these are already expensive enough without buying them on Amazon. The best is going to be to contact your local store. I used to be able to buy them straight from the company, but I don't think they're doing that anymore because they're getting them put into more stores. They should have a zip code search to see if there's a store near you that carries them. Now, how am I going to store these tamales? So Dale has 6, and this is dinner tonight. So I'm going to ask him, do you want 2 or 3? And then I'll put what's left over in these little sandwich Ziploc bags, 2 or 3 in a bag. And there aren't that many, so I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. But if I made a lot of them, like if Dale really likes these, then I'll make a lot and put them in the freezer. He really likes those tortillas as fried taco shells. So I think he's going to prefer that, where I prefer tamales, but I only want these on special occasions. I made them for Thanksgiving. You're not seeing this till after Christmas, and I hope y'all had a good Christmas. But I made these for Thanksgiving. I'm trying to make videos ahead so I can have some time off during the holidays, but I don't want you guys to miss any video content. But if I make a lot of these in the future, I'll freeze them. Now, I read about steaming them. If they're cold from the refrigerator, it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. If you're steaming them frozen, it's going to be about 30 minutes. You can always microwave them, but start them on half power because they tend to dry out. It's exciting to have a new recipe. Thank you for visiting our keto kitchen. See you later. Bye-bye.